Hello and welcome to Quietly Talking Movies. My name is Marta and welcome back to the channel. I know that it's actually been a while since the last time I've recorded any videos for the channel, for which I apologize. It's been quite a busy couple of months for me, personally and professionally, so I had to prioritize other things beside this hobby of mine. Nonetheless, since I'm over the last couple of months, I really did still collect movies, quite a lot of them, to be fair, and the agglomeration of films that I had over the past couple of months made me do a couple of videos for the channel, for your entertainment, for the ASMR properties as well. So with this video, I actually thought, in general, with this series of videos, what I'd actually like to do is to present you with my full collection of films that I possess, and I have categorized them, as I usually do, in terms of editions that I own. As the series is actually going to be progressing, I'm just going to be providing with different releases that I have based on the editions that there are from. So for example, this video, as you've probably seen on the title of the video, is going to be about my Warner Brothers collector's editions that I own. And the future videos would be about any Universal titles that I have, collector ones, any steelbooks, any Criterion collection. And Criterion collection might be actually a very long video because I own over 300 titles, so it's a completely different duration of the video, I would suppose. And so on and so forth, going from Blu-rays to 4Ks to DVDs, as well as TV series that I have. So all of that would actually be on the channel. The main reason is because I actually want to showcase my my collection and provide you with kind of like details on how it's actually growing, because I do collect and I do get some more movies almost every week. Sometimes a couple of titles on a given week, so this collection is ever living. I do watch those movies that I own very frequently, and I decide whether I actually want to keep one or sell one. So some of the titles that in the meantime that I've actually had in the last posting of my video, I no longer actually have anymore, because I already sold it, for example. So it's a very living thing, so I actually want to document it as it actually goes. Very, how to say it, a full collection, and you would actually see the whole journey of how the collection actually proceeds and evolves as we go with my videos that I would actually have. For example, on next week, on the 19th of August, I would actually have videos on some of the films that I received, that I collected on that release date, right? And I would also inform you about the films that I would potentially actually sell, right? So if I've already seen a particular edition of a film, or there is actually another one incoming, then I would potentially just sell the previous version, for example on Blu-ray, if there is a 4K coming, and I want to tell you guys about it, and you're going to be in the know, let's say. Okay, so that's enough of rambling from the start. So there's over 700 titles for me to go through overall. So there's definitely it's gonna take some time. So without further ado, let's actually start showing my collection from the very beginning. So, as I said, it's not the list is not sorted in terms of when did they actually get the release the earliest. I unfortunately do not actually track that. Basically, maybe in a different way. I did track that at some point in time, and then by mistake I actually moved the sorting of my titles to a different way, and at some point I basically lost the added to collection dates. So I no longer actually have the view on some of the titles that I actually got like 2 years ago, where they actually specifically added to my collection. So instead I decided to basically focus on particular releases from certain editions. For this video, I would actually like to showcase my Warner Brothers Collector's Editions. So what do I mean by Warner Brothers Collector's Editions? So by that, I essentially mean, let me showcase my first edition with that. But first, let me put on my trusty gloves for the ease of handling. Some of the titles are basically, in this box sets, they're actually fingerprint prone, so the fingerprint magnets. So I prefer basically to have my gloves on and spare you the uncomfortable look on my collection, to be honest. So a Warner Brothers Collector's Edition, for example, and I have in my hands right now, I do believe one of the first, if not the first, Warner Brothers Ultimate Collector's Edition that was released here in the UK. And that is Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. And I think you can already see why I'm saying I prefer to actually put my gloves on, because the editions are fingerprint magnets. Look at this, it's fully metallic, and I love this edition for the film. So what do we actually usually get in the Warner Brothers Collector's Editions? So the Warner Brothers Collector's Editions, as you can see, first of all, they are the rigid slipbox editions. They are usually thicker inside, in the spine, because they house the films in either the standard plastic armory or a steelbook edition of a particular film. So these titles, they usually, I think, have been released since 2020 onwards, or maybe even 2021 onwards. So you already have the updated Warner Brothers logo on that, on these editions. So that's what usually the insides look like. So as I'm saying, you would actually get the film, and you would actually get some extras, and the extras vary from film to film, obviously. You would actually get some nice, usually, not always, you would actually get some nice artwork on the back. You can see the spot glossing on the back cover with the helmet Born to Kill, a very legendary artwork that was created for that film. And here's the front cover. So that is my first to show, essentially. It wasn't my first bought collector's edition. I think my first one was a Singing in the Rain. Okay, so let me just slide things open. You can see rigid slipbox. Usually there's no artwork inside or anything, so there's no point in looking. And so what would we actually get inside? So I think Warner Brothers, more and more recently, when they're actually releasing the Ultimate Collector's Editions, they're including a steelbook inside. However, I think at the beginning of their journey, when they were actually releasing this, they were still releasing the standard Blu-ray cases. So we would get the film in 4K Ultra HD and Blu-ray. As you can see, Blu-ray disc and a 4K disc. We would get a particular, it's not always housed in a very, how to say, themed, movie-themed envelope or anything like that. It's not always that. But for this particular edition of Full Metal Jacket, we do get a very nice cover, and inside we usually get some goodies. So this is almost like a case file. This style, we would actually, most of the time, in all of the editions, we are going to get a art cards. So you can see we actually get a couple of two art cards in here. 7.62mm Full Metal Jacket. Actually nothing on the back. What is your major function, numbnuts? I'm in a world of shit, yes, but I'm alive and I'm not afraid. Well, I've got a joke for you. I'm going to tear you a new asshole. Famous lines of Full Metal Jacket. So we would actually get art cards, usually, followed by a couple of other things. Most of the time, beside art cards, you're also going to get a poster, which I really love about this edition, because I kind of have this feeling I'm not using those posters yet. So there's always a sense in me that, you know, as if I would actually go into a bigger apartment or anything like that, I would actually like to use those posters that I get with these films to actually like frame them and put them across my flat. That's the poster that you are actually getting with Full Metal Jacket. That's probably the original poster that was released in the United States. As you can see, there's a rated R logo, so it's a US poster. It's actually nothing on the back. Okay, let it fold it nicely. And sometimes you really do get some other goodies, and that's really nice to see. So what we actually have here is a letter from Stanley Kubrick to a fan, I think. So it's a copy of a letter by Stanley Kubrick to a fan, I believe, with some notes in here. Maybe it's not a fan, it's basically, maybe it is to a producer, and Kubrick's plans on what he actually wants to do with the movie. So you would actually get another collector's finding. And last but not least, apart from art cards, a poster, you're usually going to get a booklet. So in this edition, they actually get a very nice illustrated booklet with notes on the film. A lot of perhaps some information about And the cast, the crew, as we have here, it's essentially showing the filmography of Stanley Kubrick. So yeah, that's essentially what you're actually getting in a Warner Brothers Ultimate Collector's Editions. Okay, so let me actually put that back. That's a first one that I have to show you. That's the first one I have to show you out of, how to say, I believe 27, something around that. And there's some more collector's editions that I have pre-ordered, but I'll talk about them later, probably with my last copy that I have to show you today. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to make a pause in here, and I'm going to show you, and in the next video, another 5 collector's editions that I have from Warner Brothers. And slowly but surely we'll be just actually making those videos until I finish all of them. And that's the general idea. But with this one, thank you so much for taking the time in watching the video. If you liked it, please click like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Bye bye.